Hello everybody! So today we're doing things a little bit differently. I've been asked to read aloud some of the things that I've written. The catch is I've been asked to read stuff that I wrote many years ago when I was very young and really shitty at writing. Who asked me to do this? Clearly Satan. So here's the deal, I'm a very easily embarrassed person. I never read any of my old work. I find it absolutely mortifying. So in order to make it more tolerable, I decided to incorporate wine. Not enough, there we go. Take me to the happy place. I am staring at this pile of notebooks. They're watching me. We're gonna give this a shot. I'm gonna start with the first book that I've ever written. Book, I use the term loosely. This is a book I wrote when I was 6. In the first grade. It's called The Funeral. This is proof I'm not full of shit. There's a fucking casket on the cover. I should also mention that this book is about cats. So not only does it revolve around death, it specifically revolves around dead cats. Wonderful. The Funeral, dedicated to my mom and dad, because they are my family. They're my family, I guess. I guess I'll dedicate it to them. I'm related to them. Whatever.
Cat funeral, yeah, dead cats.
So Cliff's decided to join in. One morning, Timmy's mom got the mail. So this is
That looks familiar.
This is Timmy's mom. Why does she look familiar?
She looks like your mom.
She doesn't look like my mom. She's a fucking cat. The sign in the corner of the page is a cat. That's so sad.
That is just creativity.
It said your uncle's died. Timmy sobbed. But there's good news. We're invited to the funeral. I just thought funeral seemed like a really cool thing to go to. There's a dead body there.
I know. You thought it was kind of like a party kind of deal.
Weddings are a party. It's the same thing. That was how my thought process was.
You're
People
sick.
go to
You're sick.
People go to weddings to party.
Mhm.
This is more exciting because there's a dead body there. That was my thought process. I realize now that it was flawed. Is that where we're going to bury my uncle? He's a fire crotch.
I thought that was like all red because you were trying to like say, oh, he's dead, so he has blood.
This is the dead uncle. Don't be rude. I love my uncle. Why was he rude? What was rude about? I guess this whole thing is rude.
How old were you when your uncle died?
My uncle's never died. So at the back there are reader comments and it's from my principal and my teacher said, "Your story was very interesting." You know that's her way of saying, please don't make me a target when you eventually become a serial killer. I later learned that this story instigated a conversation between my mom and the teacher.
Oh yeah.
Did someone die in the family? No one died. I just had a really morbid fascination. Next one. You can tell it's mine because it has my initials on it. But if you look closely, there are Lisa Frank stickers. Hold on. Lisa Frank. And then there's a peach. Oh, there's a peach! The Savers Champion.
Is it scratch and sniff?
I don't think it is. Hold on, you do it.
Nope, that's just a boring little sticker.
This was my notebook in the 4th grade, and I wrote a book called Amethyst and Her Friends as They Go Through Time. A long time ago in a faraway land, Zeus sent 10 animals, a wolf, rat, cat, monkey, horse, ostrich, crow, hawk, tiger, and skunk, to the year 4000.
Skunk?
What he didn't know was that in the future, humans made contact with every planet except Mars. The aliens from Saturn, Hugots,
It's a pretty good fucking name.
came to live on Earth because the aliens from Mars, Rotsits, shot icebergs at Saturn. The icebergs were so cold they split Saturn in half and froze it with 2 exclamation points, so you know it's really serious. The Rotsits from Mars came down to Earth in their spaceship. They dug up 10 dead people from their graves.
Oh no, they did it.
And they decided to take 10 animals too. What are the odds? The first 10 animals they saw were the 10 animals Zeus sent. The Rotsits decided to make the animals half human. The people's blood transferred into the animal's body. This is starting to sound a little bit like Eve the Awakening. In 15 hours, the animals were half human. From a blood transfusion, they put human blood from dead people into the animals, and now they're half human. That's
how it works.
That's all it takes. But something went wrong with horse and the wolf. The horse was getting blood from a 17-year-old girl. The girl died because she cut her wrists. So she didn't have enough blood for the horse. Like, what the actual fuck is going on?
I thought this was gonna be funny, but this is just scary.
Yeah, this is like heavy shit. When the horse was done getting blood, the Rotsits found out that she stayed more horse than human. The person the wolf was getting blood from was a 16-year-old girl. She died because she had too much blood. So when the wolf got her blood, she became more human than wolf. Oh my gosh, I really cannot deal with this.
Yes, you can. Keep reading.
I'm dying. I think I have too much blood. After the Rotsits transferred the blood to the animals, they got some tests ready so they could test them. They got tests ready so they could test them to see if the 10 half animals could destroy all living things on Earth.
What the fuck?
Oh my god. There's an alien language in this book. And it's not good.
Do you want me to try?
No, I don't want anyone to try.
The roaches yelled.
The Rotsits.
They yell.
I'm like actually crying. We gotta get a plan ready. First, Half Tiger will pretend to be in a fight with me. Then I'll play dead. Then the 3 birdie boys over there will come over to me and pretend to try and eat me.
Birdie boys?
Eat me? I know she means like eat her carcass, but I'm just saying. After that, the rest of you start to get in a fight, except you, Half Skunk. The weirdo guys will come over here, and you will spray them. That's not a bad plan. The half wolf and half tiger charged, slashing claws at each other. This is pretty good for like a 10-year-old. I'm just saying, it's definitely reflective of my fucked up mind. But it's pretty decently written. I would just like to point that out.
I'm a little scared right now.
The animals ran away. They ran into a dark and gloomy forest. It was almost like a swamp. The half-wolf checked if everyone was there. Where are the 5 boys? Meanwhile, I think we are lost. Yelled half ostrich as they all fell into a humongous pit. Look how I spelled humongous. At least I had a wide vocabulary. I just didn't know how to spell the words. They fell so hard, they hit their heads and got knocked out. They started to bleed out of their mouths and noses.
You were in death and blood.
I say blame the parents. Blame the parents. They got a lot of cuts. They bled so much blood.
So that's what happens when you get cut.
You bleed a lot of blood when you get cut. They only had human blood left. Their bleeding was very strategic, and it was exclusively animal blood that left their body. No human blood. It was exclusively animal blood.
So let's pull us back for a second. You're an animal.
Yes.
They put some human blood in you.
Mm-hmm.
Check it out. I'm half animal, half human.
Exactly. Science.
But then I'm like, fuck that. I don't want to be an animal anymore.
Right.
Bleed, piss, whatever you gotta do, that shit out.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're just left with
human.
I'm a real boy.
It's all 100% scientifically sound.
Mm-hmm.
It all makes sense.
Yeah.
It's science.
It makes a whole bunch of sense.
They all fell into a time whirlpool. They came out sticky and wet.
What the fuck do you mean by time whirlpool?
It's like a pool of cum or something. Maybe it was like being born again and they came out of the womb. I even wrote next to it similes. I was trying to be creative. I will name you so you won't get mixed up. Half rat, you are as sweet as a rose, yet you sparkle in the wind just like the color green. I shall now name you Jade. You are as silent as the deep purple night, yet you are as shocking as the swiftest arrow. Half wolf, I shall now name you Amethyst, Zeus told them. like a poem. I mean, like, that reminds me of Mulan. Like, you must be as swift as a da-da-da. You are as strong as the great tide. You know what I mean? Be a man. Okay, we're moving on. We're moving on. So I found another notebook, and it's got a bunch of homework assignments in here, but at the back there's some poetry that I'd like to share with you.